YouTube, we are back with another video. Okay, I want to tell you all thank you for watching my show. So I really want to answer because this morning I did the morning show, right? And we were talking about earlier today. I was reached out by the My Wicked Show on yesterday, right, for a conversation. So of course, I get emails and I get texts from people that are fans of the My Wiggins Show. And a lot of people were shocked when I was giving them receipts of us go way back to 2015 and 16. So a lot of people from his camp that was in my inbox were shocked, like, oh my gosh, I did not know that you go back with My Wiggins Show. I did not know that you interview him. I did not know that you did a show with My Wiggins, My Wiggins, and Auntie Gummy. I was like, yeah, do y'all remember Auntie Gummy, the lady that had no teeth and it was just her gums, and they used to call her Auntie Gummy. She was another viral star, and it was me, Auntie Gummy, and My Wiggins. We used to do a radio show called Unfiltered. So a lot of people, they were shocked, and I said, listen, because I go back with these people, a lot of these folks you won't never know, because when they get on their platforms, they don't mention the Wiley Show name. They don't. They say the cockeyed blogger or the blogger that should not be named, blase, blase, blase. So when I respond, I don't do subliminals. I never was a subliminal type of person. Even when I do it, I always come out and say the individual that I'm talking about name, because it causes confusion to the audience. If you got something to say about a particular blogger, say their name so the people know who exactly you talking about, instead of doing these subliminals, because it adds confusion and it make it seem as though that you ain't never been around that person, when you know in fact that's just not true. So when he sent me that message, I was looking at it. He said, well, every time I come into your show, I tell you like it is. No, I'm not allowed to come on your platform, the My Wicked Show platform. And I would tell his fans, I said, listen, I'm not allowed to come on his show, but he's always welcome on the Wiley Show. He's always welcome to comment. I don't care when or whatever. Like, he'll block my number for a long time, and then when he ready, he'll unblock my number. So that have always been, this is nothing new. I'm looking forward to our conversation. I think it's an overdue conversation, and I hope and pray that we have this in a life of conversation, that it don't be a drunken conversation, that it be a sober conversation. No shade, I'm being real. That it be sober. So we lay our egos on the ground, lay everything at the ground, and just say, okay, let's talk. Because I think if more African Americans, or more people, period, just say, you know what, I have this disagreement. I feel this way about you, brother. So let's talk about it. And it's good to talk about it publicly, because it was a public fallout. If something that was such a public fallout, it's really good to try to resolve it publicly, because it just lay it all out instead of doing private. I used to love private stuff, but when I try to resolve something privately and then publicly, it won't work. It is no type of, the love wasn't shown publicly. So it's just best to have it aired out publicly and just move on. You just never know what God have in store for that type of conversation. So I did the morning show earlier today. I was resolving some issues that came out earlier today because a cast member, Melly B from The Circle NYC, was extremely upset because I was talking about him riding a horse. I was saying that he did not own the horse. And let me fact check. He showed me the receipt that he paid $4,500 for the horse. Okay, so he showed the receipt, and all he could have did is show the receipt. And look at me, I fact checked myself. He owned the horse, he paid for it, he showed his government name, Melvin, and he paid for the horse. Whip-de-do. That's all he could have did. But no, what Melvin did, aka Melly B did, this guy didn't only show the receipt, he showed tax, he showed my credit history. Y'all know my credit is bad. Y'all know I owe a credit card company. He showed my mug shot when I got arrested. He showed that. He and then he went to so far to say, oh, you drugged a blogger. And I'm like, you drug One Key Pro. And I'm like, whoa. So you literally left my mugshot and all this over a review of riding a horse. Again, Then I said, and I'm like, why would you say something like that? And you so angry over a review? And I said, this is because it's power in what I put on my platform. It's power in my reviews. It's power in my commentary. And you guys don't think that, but you think that it don't be a lot of people watching, but people watch the show. And he just couldn't handle a joke. I still have respect for the brother. I hope his lemonade company is successful. I will hope and pray that it don't get a nasty legal lawsuit. Okay. I just would pray that he would stop doing that, especially when you're trying to build a company off the ground up. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't be very wise. And he really just don't know how I operate. But that's okay. Because people just say that. I'm going to tell you, Dr. Larry Reed said a lot of stuff. But he stopped saying a lot of that stuff because he's in the courtroom. Now, I'm not trying to bring up Dr. Larry Reed, but I'm going to bring him up. Because I ain't afraid to say nobody's name. He went out. He said something about allegations about the pastor. He said that the pastor employee did something to somebody, and that church was like, oh no, they went to court. So let me tell you guys, be careful when you say these strong allegations and you go on a limb and you repeating some of what you heard. Then be careful, because when you get that notice of a lawsuit being filed and you got an answer to the lawsuit, go to court, you're going to be looking real foolish, okay? Because I can guarantee you, if you go to Dr. Larry Reed today and ask him, do he regret, if he had a choice, would you have rather just let it alone, move on? He probably would say, I would have let it alone, in my humble opinion. Because lawsuits ain't no joke. Who wants to sit in a courtroom? Look at Tasha K. When Tasha K said Cardi B had herpes. Look at what she's dealing with, illegal, and they're still in litigation. That's money to be spent. Money to be spent that you have to fight a civil lawsuit. If you even go to the show, The King of the Tigers with Joe Exotic, that documentary on Netflix, when that woman, Carol, sued Joe Exotic, and she spent a lot of money, close to over $700,000 in legal fees to sue Joe Exotic. Of course, she ain't getting nothing from it, but he lost his zoo. So you got to be very careful what you do. He about to buy that guy the horse that way he slandered you. So, and it was like, wow, it was just a joke. I didn't know he on the horse. I said it looked like he rent the horse. You know how some people, they get on the horse, they visit a farm, they ride the horse, you know, X, Y, and Z. I didn't take it that personal, but he took it so personal because people watch the show. They will inbox you. Wiley said this about you. Wiley said that about you. Wiley said that about you. And then he sent me a message. He said, Wiley, I think you like this attention. Yeah, duh. You're responding to Wiley, and I'm going to clap back with a response. This is what I do. I'm not like any of them cast members on the Circle NYC that bow down and don't want to clap back to you. I'm not like any of them cast members. I am from the CHICAGO. I'm from Chicago, and we respond. I'm not like them people in New York, Brooklyn, or the Bronx. I respond, and I love to talk. That's my gift. I love to talk. So if you want to clap back and just go back and forth and do all that talk, we can do all that talking. Because I know you ain't going to throw no hands. You're going to get an old nasty lawsuit. And I'm going to wind up owning the lemonade company. Well, you really can't sell no lemonade now because y'all on quarantine. So the lemonade stand is on quarantine right now. You can't really sell no lemonade right now. Okay? So that's the whole ordeal that's going on. And the producers of The Circle, they are loving it because it's just adding views to that show. People didn't even know what The Circle NYC was, really my audience like that. And I was on Sean's show last night on his Patreon because, of course, he had Melly B on. I wish I need that footage so I can send it to the producers of The Circle NYC. It's like, put some clips out, you know, of us going back and forth. If I can get a click and a view, you know me. So I'm going to definitely check out Mr. Sean and ask him, can I get that footage to send to the producers over there so they can get some clips, so we can get some clicks and views, because I'm auditioning audition and to host the Circle NYC reunion show, because I'm on the forefront, because I've learned to be on the forefront of this show. So when people say, who's the best reviewer of the Circle NYC? You got to say, well, damn, Wiley talking about it. So I got to talk about it as much. So shout out to Dwight. Shout out to Jermaine Seller. Shout out to the other cast members. I really can't say your name right now. Y'all ain't really popping in my brain. So when y'all pop and I can get y'all name like that and give me a simple name that I can remember, I get to you. So some of y'all I really can't get to you. Terry Crews, the R&B artist that got fired from Love Hip Hop. I know who you are, because you got the one that got fired from Living Hip Hop. Okay, I'm from New York, and then knows about this show until you talked about it. You better say it. You better say it. Press 1 if you start watching the Circle NYC. When I start talking about it, press 1, you start watching or intrigued about the show because of my review. Because of my review, you are intrigued about the show. I just want to know. Because of my review, we got 1, okay. All right. You see what I'm saying? So that'll let you know. We got 95 million people watching the show. I've only heard about it when you talked about it. Period. Point blank. And Nurse Nicole said 8. So she said 5. She let all her fingers up as a hand right. So that's what's that all about, people. And I had literally some days I pull an all-nighter on my show. Some days, because I slept for Friday and Saturday. And I just slept. So I knew if I have 2 heavy days when I'm sleeping straight and just hours upon hours, I knew I was going to pull an all-nighter. And that's why I'm not really as tired now, because I slept all yesterday, all watching shows. Them shows was watching me, baby. I was watching Netflix shows, and baby, them shows was watching me. Okay, I put on his story time because I literally, when I do a show and I do a review, I take my notes and I just put my Wiley spin to it. I put my honest opinion about what I see, and I tell you my perspective of the situation. It might not be your perspective, but this is my perspective, and you come to hear what I got to say. And the beauty of this show, if you disagree with my assessment or my review, guess what? You comment in the comments and you let me know how you feel. I'm definitely going to review the Tiger King too. I'm definitely going to review that as well. The Tiger King, definitely going to review that as well. Okay, I'm not gonna do episode 1 or episode 2. I'm just gonna review the whole documentary because it was extremely good. So we probably will do that today. If not, we probably do this or probably in the morning, because a lot of stuff I need to review. I started rushing the show because of the clip of Jermaine Sellers. I like him, absolutely, and I was very strategic in putting that out there, a story where my audience can resonate. I have a lot of folks that's church base, so you have to know your audience. So I knew that story would have resonated with some people because it resonated with me. Anybody can watch on YouTube, right? Yes, so all of this is on YouTube. I can watch on YouTube. Yeah, the Circle NYC you can watch on YouTube. Tiger King is on Netflix. The Circle NYC on YouTube, and the Tiger King is on Netflix, okay? And it's another documentary on Netflix. If you're by your Netflix account, please give me the name of that. It's about prisoners going to school and getting their education, and they won a debate against Harvard University. What was the name of that documentary? I don't know if y'all watch it or not, but that really, and I'm almost finished with it. I was watching that documentary and I was like, I love documentaries. That documentary about the prisoners going to school while in prison and getting their associate and their bachelor's. And when I tell you, those men and women literally are the most powerful, intelligent students I have ever witnessed. College behind bars. Thank you so much, Nurse Nicole, for that, because it was incredible. I was like, wow, those students were definitely doing what they had to do. Thank you. I was wondering where to find both of those shows. Yes. So College Behind Bars is another good one. It's a beautiful show for your kids to watch it and to let them know, son, if you make a mistake, you don't want to end up here. Look how these people stress, and it was like, it's a beautiful documentary. So I'm not gonna go into details with, because I'm gonna do a detailed review about it. Just give y'all enough time to go watch it. So make sure y'all go tune into that documentary, because I was watching that before I did my morning show, and I didn't even want to do my morning show because I was watching documentary. I'm like, man, this is really good. I like it when people go to school while in prison, because prison is designed to rehabilitate you. You know what I'm saying? Prison is not designed so you could just for punishment. It's supposed to be designed for you to be really rehabilitated so you can come back to society. Somebody said, I know you love Malcolm X. Did you watch that on Netflix? I did. I watched that on Netflix, and we reviewed that on Patreon. We did that video on Patreon. We exclusively got into that on Patreon. I love Malcolm X. I love the documentary. I love the guy that actually researched Brother Malcolm and how they just did it. And one of the things he was curious. He was like, Dad, they won't release the files because he know that if they release the files, they will have to admit that the FBI was a part of Brother Malcolm's, you know what. I ain't gonna say the word because YouTube's very timid. That the FBI, it wasn't the FOI, it was the FBI that was played a part of Malcolm X. Okay, y'all know. So definitely with that. So I did watch the documentary. It's sad. I really would have loved for them to put Minister Farrakhan on there, because a lot of things were said about him, about his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They should have had the current leader of the Nation of Islam on the show. I don't know if they reached out to Minister Farrakhan and he declined, because sometimes they probably could have reached out to the minister and the minister could have said no. But if they haven't, they should have, because you should talk to the current leader of the nation. That was just my only critique of the show. Oh, and I was able to listen to Annie Malone's great niece. Is it great niece? Yeah, her great niece. She did an interview with a podcast, and it was a beautiful interview on the podcast. So I'm gonna try to do some commentary on that. I'm gonna re-listen to it and kind of play little clips of it. I mean, awesome interview. So I meant to share that. So I'm gonna definitely do that. So it's a lot of stuff I gotta catch up on. But I did hear her great niece, because one of my producers found her Instagram, right? And they gave me her Instagram. And I clicked on her Instagram and I saw that she did this podcast and she was talking about her great it was beautiful. It was just really, really beautiful. So I'm just intrigued to learn more about Annie Malone. So and her niece is working on a book. I forgot her name. I can't remember. I don't know if her name is Sabrina. I forgot her name. So y'all bear with me on that. So once I get that and go back on my phone, I would definitely come back and just say that on there. All right. So I really want to do this story time about healthcare, right? So right now they have us sharing masks. Okay, using the same mask, not sharing masks, but using the same mask. We're not allowed to use other masks. We allowed to use the same mask for a week, okay, or whenever. You can able to get a no one, because we're so low on masks, because the healthcare system, the mask, when we get our masks from, they're so overwhelmed with orders. They're backed up for months upon months. So and I threw my mask in the garbage. Because I wasn't going to use no mask over and over and over. That's disgusting. I'm not using no mask for a whole week. Snot and boogers. You could bring your all mask if you can find one. So I used mine for one day and I threw it out. I said, I'm not keeping a mask in my car. I threw my mask in the garbage. I ain't thinking, because I'm been trained that you don't use the same mask. So it is what it is. So I make sure I keep my hands clean, because I think that's very disgusting. And it's cross-contamination to use the same mask over and over again. They trained us that you can't even use the same linen on somebody else's bed because of contact. Infection control. How can you have complete infection control? You using the same mask, you know what I'm saying? So it's that's just like using the same toothbrush. You know, you just don't do those things. You use it. Mask is supposed to be disposable, and you go to the next one. How are you using a mask and you in a room, in an isolation room with a patient? Do you use that same mask that you was in an isolation room, and that cough and them particles is just all on that mask, and you take that mask because you don't keep the mask on 24/7. Half of them take the mask off. I went to the ER, right, to get tested for COVID-19, right? So I went to go get tested for that and the flu. I seen the nurses took the mask off, laid it on the counter with patients around, people coughing. They just laid it because they get tired of wearing it because it's a discomfort to just wear a mask over it. I've went into the ER. They wasn't using hand sanitizers. You make sure their hands are washed. She touching the pen. Now, mind you, if I'm saying that I'm having symptoms and coughing and this and aches, shouldn't you try to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer or gloves and not using the same pen? Because you can definitely get infected if you don't know what I have. So you want to make sure that you're protected, especially when you're dealing with this type of virus. You clearly did not do it. So a lot of people is not taking it serious when it comes to this virus. And again, it was a doctor that was on the news, and she recorded the hospital that she worked with, a hospital in New York, and she recorded what's going on in the hospital. And she said it's like the apocalypse. I think that's what she said. And it's like they lack supplies, they lack ventilators, and they're crying because they don't have enough supplies for their patients. And they're double the amount of the emergency room. Usually on a regular day is like 400, and it's double that. And they just overworked and overbooked. So y'all pray for our healthcare workers. Pray for those that are on the front lines. Pray for those people. Continue, it will not come towards the mass, the minerals. I know how to make them, and a special mineral goes between that the virus go away from. Right. And so now it's just crazy. So now people got to make masks and all that type of stuff. Like, all that stuff should be provided. But if they don't get control of it, it's going to continue to spread. It was a pastor that got the COVID-19, and he was encouraging his people in the hospital bed and say he got it, stay encouraged, blah, blah. He got tested, I think on a Monday. He went in, he got his results on a Tuesday, and he died on a Wednesday. Yep, he died on a Wednesday. About in less than 3 days, the guy, the pastor, died. So people are dying. He was a black pastor. So people are dying from this, no matter what your color or creed is. They're dying from this virus. So and a lot of things they're not really telling the media concerning this. So a lot of stuff y'all are not really hearing. So just know that it's real. And it's a situation that you have to protect yourself. Be smart. Wash your hands. Go to the store. Like over the weekend, I rarely left the house. When I left, I went to go get something to eat. Make sure my hands was washed. Took a shower. Washed my sheets. Put clean sheets on. Washed my clothes. And guess what? I came back in the house. Came back in the house. All right. Okay. Any questions for me? I had to just come and chit chat with y'all. We talking to 76 people, 76 million. Y'all know how to do. So we thank you all for showing it. It is. It's very, very. And I don't really think about it. I just come do my job and say, just stay prayed up. And I'm like, I don't want nothing like that because it messes with your lungs and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm just praying that people be safe, and that praying that people able to get an income during this situation, because people losing their jobs, people have lost their jobs. Over 1 million people had to file for unemployment. Yes, they are, and these foods still second lining in honor of the dead for them to be next. Right, and it was one situation where a guy went to Florida. He was at a party in Miami. He was at a party somewhere, and he was tested positive and he passed away. So you got to take it fair. You got to take it serious. You got to take it serious. You really, really got to take it serious. So after all that mess last night, were you able to get any rest? No, I wasn't able to get no sleep. But the thing about it is, I slept so much on Friday and Saturday. I slept both of them days. I slept a lot. You know, when I got up like last night and I did that video, what was it about? My radio? What's it about? I forgot what video I did. I know because I get up and did that video for, was it my, or whatever video I did, I got up and do. I was so energized, and so I knew I couldn't go back to sleep because I just slept like for those 3 days because I was off Thursday. Can you tell the people again that your test results were negative? Please, some people go to the chat didn't think you could go back to work. Yes, so my test came back negative for COVID-19, so it came back negative, and the flu came back negative. Okay, a lot of people say, how was you able to get your results back so quick? Because the hospital that I went to, since I am a healthcare worker, they have a lab like in the hospital, so they test at the hospital, so they don't have to ship the test out or anything. It's all in-house. And they said it came back negative. Now they did say if we call you, that means that it's positive. If we don't call you, that means it's negative. Clearly they called me, so I was like, oh my god, they called me. So he had called me. He's like, no, I'm just letting you know that your test came back negative. I was like, thank you, Jesus, for that. So I was able, you know what I'm saying, to come back to work. So praise the Lord for that. I really think it was my allergies. I was coughing, my allergies, you know, I'm still got a little aches. It was my allergies, so I'm definitely keeping up on it. And if anything else pop up, of course I'll go back. But it's just mainly like my allergies and that AC, being under that AC. And I mean, so my roommate got a little bit better with turning the AC down because the AC just be beating me up in that room. Like, I'm like, whoa, it's like a freezer. I said, turn it down. You act like it's 99 degrees outside. I think he said, I get heat flash. I don't care if you do get a heat flash. You better turn that AC down. Okay? Turn it down. They are still crowded on these press conferences, and a guy was even touching his face, not practicing what your preacher says. Right, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Because I closed the vent, and like I said, it still seeped through. It looked like it make my room even colder because the situation is so good that didn't even work. It's still cold. It's still cold. And I don't like to sleep with no clothes on. So, you know, my little butt cheeks would just be freezing. He needs to get a fan and put it in his room if he have a hot flash. And I'm like, you need to come on. Like, and my nose is heated. Anybody else you see the struggle for America? Car in the mail this week. No, I didn't receive any of that in the mail this week, to be honest with you. No. All right. Thank you all so very much. I got to get back inside. Peace and blessings to you. I want to thank all my producers in the chat for those that came and joined me for this conversation, and thank you for those that watched the previous video. Please leave a comment. I thank you all for that, for watching the videos. Love you for watching, so thank you for that, and thank you all for supporting me during this time. And you know, when you have a look things, when people come at you, y'all just there. And again, I just keep my focus, say what I have to say, and I move forward with my life. And that's what you got to do. I will see y'all later. Peace. And I think we got a special guest today. I'm not gonna say nothing. I think we got a special guest coming on the show today. I think. Not 100% sure. Peace and blessings, y'all. Stay safe. And get your hand sanitizer. Let me get my hand sanitizer. Get your hand sanitizer. Yeah, I definitely got me some at home, and I bought a hand sanitizer in my car. We got plenty where I work, so all around. All right, I will see y'all later.